He never gives up, he's always there, fighting for freedom over land and air.
Yo, Joe! Convoy, go! Yo, Joe!
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down 10 interesting pieces of trivia that you should know about G.I. Joe. Number 10. The first action figures. Kicking off our trivia list is the fact that the original toy series debuted in 1964.
G.I. Joe, fighting man from head to toe, on the land, on the sea, in the air.
Following the success of Barbie, creator Stan Weston envisioned a military-themed Hasbro figure to serve as a counterpart for boys. To distance the toys from any association with dolls, Hasbro coined the terms action figure and movable man of action. Number 9. Origin of the Joe name. Originally called G.I. Joe, America's Movable Fighting Man, the line was introduced at New York's International Toy Fair. The brand name didn't refer to a single toy, but was rather a simple nod to the Oscar-nominated 1945 film, The Story of G.I. Joe. Eventually, later media incarnations retconned the name to have a greater meaning, such as in 2009's film, which explains it as the acronym Globally Integrated Joint Operated Entity. Number 8. Immediately appealing. In the beginning, only 4 distinct figures were released, one to represent each branch of the US Armed Forces. Standing at 11.5 inches tall, the G.I. Joe action figures had 21 moving parts and featured full uniforms, boots, work caps, dog tags, facial scars, pistol, and M16 machine gun. Having found the untapped boys market, the figures sold more than 2 million units in the first year alone.
Remember, only G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe.
Number 7. War, what is it good for? Though success was instantaneous, the Joes hit a nerve during the second half of the 1960s, with the United States fighting the extremely unpopular war in Vietnam. In reaction, Hasbro refocused the brand in 1970, making it a non-military adventure team.
This is the rugged G.I. Joe adventure team.
Now, G.I. Joe fought ecological disasters and wild animals, as opposed to other human beings. Number 6. Major toy design changes. In the franchise's first decade, it gained popularity with such gimmicks as the now famous Kung Fu grip.
Joe has hands that grip, fingers you hold open and let close, hands that hold on with a Kung Fu grip.
When the line ended in 1976, it wouldn't be until 1982 that another official G.I. Joe line emerged, reintroducing the toys as 3 3/4 inch figures that were rebranded as G.I. Joe, a real American hero. This reboot was given an animated series, an animated film, and a Marvel comic book series. Number 5. A new enemy. Reissued, the G.I. Joe team was once again given a career change, now serving as a counter-terrorist team whose main objective was to protect innocents from the Cobra, an organization bent on world domination.
Water robots! Return to the river and attend to G.I. Joe!
As a result, each figure was released with a file card, giving it a biography of the character and his or her specialties. Number 4. The Cobra Commander.
We now stand ready to rule the world!
After an animated miniseries, the cartoon finally aired regularly on Saturday mornings in 1985. Here, Cobra was portrayed to its young audience as a bumbling and ineffective group, as opposed to dangerous killers. Most famous of all the villains was the leader, the Cobra Commander, a mysterious figure who used ridiculous ploys to achieve world domination.
Stop surrendering and listen to me!
The character was voiced by actor Chris Latta, who gave Cobra Commander nearly the exact same voice he used for Starscream in the equally popular Transformers series.
I nominate myself as the new leader!
Number 3. Safety first.
You were saying something about fighting fearlessly?
With a constant push for new characters, the animated series tended to feature a specific character in each episode from the G.I. Joe line as a way to advertise their latest figures. Capitalizing on the requirement to counter the show's violence with a positive message, these new characters were often charged with delivering a public safety lesson at the end of the episode.
Never get in anything that could close up and trap you.
Like an old trunk or an abandoned refrigerator. Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Number 2. Franchise fatigue. After the cartoon franchise was canceled in 1986, it was given a poorly received direct-to-video animated film named G.I. Joe the Movie the following year. With interest in the Joes diminishing, Hasbro ultimately canceled the line in 1994. However, they regularly tested the waters with short-lived follow-ups before targeting older fans by re-releasing old lines and anniversary collections. Number 1. Franchise reboots. Rounding out our trivia list are the several attempts made to reboot the franchise. These began with 1995's G.I. Joe Extreme, a show focused on new Joes and a new terrorist organization called SCAR. Several years later, the franchise finally received a live-action feature with 2009's G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, reimagining the original 1985 series while globalizing the once American-based unit in the process. Are you a G.I. Joe fan? What's your favorite piece of Joe trivia? For more informative trivia lists, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Retreat! Retreat! Retreat!